Hey guys, my name is Steven and I'm the middle school student ministry leader here at Grace. I just want to share something with you guys, and I was thinking about this time that we're in right now and how it can feel like it's filled with so much silence. That whether it's silence because not very much is happening right now, silence from being isolated from our friends and our community, maybe you feel like you have silence even from God, that you're not hearing from God, you're not feeling anything from God, you're not feeling and experiencing the presence of God right now. And I was reminded of a story out of 1 Kings chapter 19. This is right after the story of Elijah and the prophets of Baal, where God sends fire onto the burnt offering of Elijah, proving that he is powerful and above any other false gods. And it's amazing because all these other prophets, these false prophets, decide to serve God and follow God only. Right after this, in 1 Kings 19, Jezebel, the queen of that area at the time, sends Elijah a message threatening his life. Now, right after this, even though Elijah had just seen how powerful God is, he's terrified and he runs the opposite direction. He runs out into the wilderness and he stays there, and then he continues his journey to Mount Sinai. It's interesting that he goes to Mount Sinai because of how much stuff happens at Mount Sinai in the past. We know that Moses had his face-to-face interactions with God. We know that fire came down on top of the mountain right after the Exodus. See that so many things happen there, and he runs to this same mountain. And he gets there, and God asks him, Elijah, what are you doing here? And Elijah lists off all these things. He says, I've done this, all this just happened, I've served you, I've done all these things, and now Jezebel's threatening to take my life. And again, God asks him, Elijah, what are you doing here? Elijah again lists off all these things and says, and now Jezebel's threatening to take my life. So God says, Elijah, come to the entrance of the cave, for I'm going to show myself to you. And then he's near the entrance of the cave, and this enormous wind comes by, and it's splitting apart rocks, and it's amazing. It says that God was not in the wind. And then this earthquake comes by, and it's splitting apart the mountain, it's shaking the whole mountain. God was not in the earthquake. And then a huge fire comes by, says that God was not in the fire. And then after all of this, it's a sound of a gentle whisper, a sound of silence. And at that, Elijah goes to the entrance of the cave and covers his face because he knows that the presence of God was in the silence. Now I believe that Elijah ran to this mountain because he was chasing after an experience. He was chasing after the same type of thing that happened with the prophets of Baal, that he wanted to see and experience and feel God in a powerful, amazing way. But God showed up in the silence. He showed up in the gentle whisper. So guys, during this time, I know that it can be filled with a lot of silence. And we can feel distant from God just because we're not feeling the presence of God right now. But I want to tell you guys, and I want to encourage you guys with this, that God speaks to us in the silence. That God is still there with us in the silence, in the gentle whispers. That we don't have to have this amazing feeling and this amazing experience to have a relationship with God, to be close to God, but that God still speaks to us in the silence. So hopefully that's encouraging to you guys to listen for God in the silence, to be encouraged that He is still there in the silence, and to not have to chase after that experience of God, but to be content in the way that He shows Himself to us. So I hope you guys are doing well. We miss you guys. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you guys soon.